All right, guys. 2024. We got to get this thing going again. Let's see what we can do. All right, guys. Welcome back to the Alpha Builders channel. My name's Emmett Stallworth. I am your Alpha Builder. And I guess a couple of things I want to get out the way. Guys, we just jumping off into 2024. And some of the things that, well, let me just say this right here, guys. I appreciate you guys. The last couple of weeks, I've had a lot of people start to subscribe. I think people at home a little bit more, so they're actually going on YouTube a little bit more. So I've been getting a lot of subscribers, even based on the last video I did really good. Typically, guys, I would send those videos out to different people that I know, but I didn't even send this one out, and I think we hit, we getting pretty good views on that video, and it's just from you guys just being, subscribing to my channel and hitting the thumbs up or even the thumbs down. I think either one of them helps the algorithm. And so, guys, also let me know what some of the items that you want to hear about, some things that you want me to talk about as a builder. Now, I'm telling you guys right now, 2024, here's a couple of different things that we should be doing in 2024. And that's what this video right here is about. But behind me, guys, I'm in my little bunker here in my classroom, and I like to kind of write things down. I got my little board here. I got a couple of items, a whole bunch of items I got to get taken care of. One thing that you guys can do too is make a little checklist. When you get finished with some things, you check it off. That makes you feel, it makes me feel better when I get things done. So let's just kind of pop right into this thing. Guys, in 2024, these are some of the items I think that we should be focused on. And I'm just going to kind of go down the list right here. The first one I have is, as a contractor, most of us have jobs, guys. Most of us have full. Guys, I teach classes here at Lawson. That's a salaried job. They pay me as an instructor. But let me say this right here, guys. If you have a salary job, in some cases, that's probably not good. If that's all you got going on, that's probably not a good idea. Let me say this, and I kind of explain to you in just a second. But if you have a salaried job, you have got, as a contractor, you better have a side hustle. You better have a side hustle. You better have something that you can do to produce. See, guys, there's a difference between salary and production. When you have a salary, in a salaried job, man, it can be kind of dangerous in essence, guys, because you guys become content. You become content with a certain lifestyle because this is what they're going to pay you guys, and you guys are just going to base everything off of that salary. So it doesn't make you go out there and have the hunger in you like a wild lion that came from the Serengeti, came from Africa. You just take them and bring them over here. This guy got to hunt. But if you get a cage lion and you feed them every day consistently, that drive to hunt, he starts to lose it. He doesn't get it. He gets lazy. He doesn't go out there and, he gain weight, and he doesn't go out there and he fight and eat and do what he got to do. So salaried jobs do that to you guys. It takes away the hunt, the hunger, the fight. And here's the thing, guys. I don't know if you guys heard this concept called lifestyle creep. If you got a salary job, you start buying a little bit more, or you do, you get a pay raise and stuff like that. And you start to, every time you get a little bit more of a pay raise, what you're going to do is you're going to have what they call lifestyle creep. And what's going to happen is you're going to spend a little bit more than you normally spend. Then if you're sitting around and you're trying to save money, man, I mean, you can't put money in a place now, man, where you draw enough interest to do anything. So you got to be out here hustling. You got to take the money that you have, you got to invest it in stuff. You got to be I just think you got to be very aggressive when you invest it. You got to invest in some things just making stuff happen, impacting. And investing in yourself is when you have a side hustle. See, the side hustle is you taking your money and you invest in you. Guys, I don't trust anybody. I don't trust the government to take care of me. I don't trust other people to take nobody. One person that I do trust is me. I trust me. I trust me. Guys, and that's the mindset that we have to have. You know, yes, it's one thing to have your job and stuff like this right here and getting paid by the salary, but it's one thing to have your own hustle. So you can't fire yourself. So guys, side hustle, you better get one. You better get you a side hustle. And guys, I'm gonna tell you, construction is wide open. AI has not completely taken over construction. It's gonna be about 30 to 40 years before it actually do, because we kind of got a lag time about 30 to 40 years in construction, guys. And you know, it's coming. Make no mistake about it. It's coming. They're gonna have computers and robots actually stack laying brick, printing houses. I mean, you can go online right now and you can look at 3D printing houses, neighborhoods that they're starting to print. It's coming. But you know, that's why we need to take this 30 to 40 year run, make as much money we can make out here in these trades. Everybody don't have to be a builder. I'm gonna tell you guys, it's probably better not to be the general contractor or the home builder, because you can just focus on one thing. So if you just focus on framing, I always talk about framing because I like framing a whole lot more. But if you just focus on framing, you had your framing crew, and you just get you a couple of different crews, and you do a good job at what you do, and you add value to other people's lives, you can make a whole lot of money just framing. Much so, and then you got less headache, guys. You're not out here chasing down and trying to deal with every single, like all the contractors I deal with an array of subcontractors, contractors, real estate agents, lawyers, surveyors, you name it. The only person you got to deal with is a homeowner and a builder if you are a framer. And you make sure they pay you. That's it. You're not trying to deal with a whole array of different subcontractors, and it just is a whole lot easier. Now, I'm not saying that don't ever go off in the building, but you know, these side hustles, you know, sheetrock is another one. Painting is another one. You know, painting, they get a little bit more meticulous on those painters. You know, flooring, trim carpenters. These are good. Guys, you better get out there and get your side hustle. And then that way you're going to be paid based on production. That's a big difference, guys. You're getting paid on the product that you produce, which means you can make a whole lot more money on the product that you produce. So if you got a salaried job, you know, they're getting paid off of what you produce plus what everybody's producing. So if you want to get wealth, I think if you want to at some point in time obtain wealth, you got to have your own job that you can make your money based on what you produce. You know, and a lot of people don't really want to work nowadays, man. They just want to go get a job somewhere. They get a job somewhere where they can kind of hide and be, and they're probably 30% efficient in the job that they're working in. But see, when you're producing, you got to be almost 90 to 95% efficient in order to make your money, in order to make your profit. But if you just go work at McDonald's or something like that, you can kind of get in the back and take a little break, and you can hide, and you know, those places are what, 30%, maybe 30% efficient, which is why they're trying to replace all these jobs with AI. They're trying to replace them because they're realizing how efficient hiring people are. You know, mundane jobs where you do the same thing all day, every day. Oh yeah, that's gonna be a time of the past, guys. So get your side hustle up. This year is the year to start you an LLC, get it recorded, get your N number, start your accounts and stuff, and go ahead and get out here and get your side hustle booming. And then here's what you do. You take that side hustle and you turn that side hustle into your main hustle, and turn your job into your side hustle. That's how it should be. Make the change. This year's the year to make the change. Now, I'm not saying you go just quit. You know, when your side hustle starts to become your main hustle, you know, I'm not saying go there and cuss out your people at your salary job and just tell them they can go somewhere because you're tired of going to work. Nah, man, I'm not saying do that, man. But I mean, if it came down to it, and you wanted to expand your side hustle or your main hustle that has became your side hustle that has became your main hustle, if you want to grow that thing even more, you got to channel all your energy and attention for that to make it bigger. So keep that in mind. All right, the next thing, guys. One thing you can do, especially as a contractor, guys, do not box yourself in based on color, race, religion, gender. Don't do it. Don't get into this thing where you just only want to, if I'm African American, I only want to deal with African Americans. Or if I'm white, I'm only dealing with white people. Don't do that, guys. Don't do that, man. When I was in the military, guys, we out there on that ship. I was in the Navy. When you out there on that ship, in that water, guys. By the way, water's not blue, it's black. But when you out there on that ship, you got black guys, white guys, Hispanic guys. You got all the different Asian guys. You got all those guys on your ship. We never looked at each other as being black or white, Hispanic. We didn't. Everybody on that ship was blue. We wore these blue uniforms. We had dungarees. We're all blue. All bled, red blood, but we were blue. We're Americans. That's how you guys got to think. You even got black people, man. You got black people on this pro-black thing. And guys, if that's what you want to do, that's fine. But out here in business, it's not about that. It's about capitalists, being a capitalist, being able to add value to someone else's life. And that's when I build a house, guys, I'm adding value to somebody else's life. That is the name of the game. When you add value to someone else's life, that's, guys, the feeling that you get when you add that value. And here's the thing, guys, if you do it right, the money is going to be a byproduct of you adding value to someone else's life. If you do it right, guys, if you get out here and you study your trade, you study what you're doing, you master what you're doing as a contractor, whatever you're going to do. If you're going to be a builder, you're going to be a framer, or whatever field you decide to go in, you got to master it. That's number one. You got to master. You got to study this stuff. This ain't something to just come to you, guys. You got to study your trade. You got to master your trade. And when you master it, guys, you're able to become more efficient at what you do. You're able to add value to your customers' lives. And that is the name of the game. Because when you add value to their life, guys, making money, and there's going to be some learning curves. You're going to lose in some cases, guys. I've lost before. I've won some. But, adding value to someone's life, that's how you guys should be thinking. That's the mindset that we should be thinking about. And if you do that, man, I mean, I think, making money and doing well for yourself is a byproduct of you adding value to somebody else's life by building their home. So don't box yourself in on color and stuff like that. As a matter of fact, guys, most of the guys you're going to be dealing with, especially if you're in the, heck, even in the licensed trade now, you're going to deal with a lot of Hispanic guys. They're going to come out there and do the work, and they're going to work. They're going to get it done. You're going to deal with some black guys. You're going to deal with white guys. You're going to deal with everybody. You can't walk around with a chip on your shoulder because you don't want to deal with black, white, and stuff like that. You can't have that mindset, guys. You just can't. And make no mistake about it. Let me see. I think I kind of messed some up there. Make no mistake about it, guys. Something else you need to understand. If you got that chip on your shoulder, I can guarantee you people can sense that. If you walk around, if you got a problem with white people, and you're a black guy and you got a problem with white people, and it don't take long for them to sense. If a white person has a problem with a black person, and it don't take long for you to sense, you can sense that. No one's crazy. So you gotta let that stuff go. Guys, we're all Americans, man. And guys, hey, does racism exist? Yes, it does. It does exist, but especially me being an African American, that's not our biggest problem. And it's going to exist, and that's fine. But there are enough people out here that don't care anything about that stuff, that's out here that's willing to make money and being capitalist reign supreme. And one place that you really see this in, which is why I love to watch it, man, sports, and to a degree, music. Sports, music. Man, if it sounds good, people don't care who. We don't care what color the singer is. It don't matter to me. If a guy can play sports good, I mean, we get into the now. I mind you, there were some positions and stuff in certain places, and I don't think that has to do with any color. Like in certain sports, yeah, there are certain positions that they tend to not have certain races in and stuff like that, and I don't think that has anything to do with sports. I think it's more or less nepotism, more so than anything. The dad want his son to be here, so they have a community of people. I think that's more or less anything. But guys, if you're out here doing business, man, as a matter of fact, when you get on the site, you start talking about business. Don't talk about color. Don't talk about race. Don't talk about all the what's the other stuff. Don't talk about gender roles and all this kind of stuff and religion. Guys, it ain't about that. Make your money, go home. That's the way it's going. That's one thing. Don't box yourself in. The next thing I think is I'm probably going to end in this right here. I'm going to end on this right here, on this note. Guys, you got to embrace technology. I know I keep preaching this thing about AI, man, and here comes AI. AI is doing this right here. Yes, man. I mean, it's going to come. It's inevitable. People talk about the electric cars and stuff like that. They hate electric cars because, it's a change. We're going from electric to, we're going from combustible engines to electric and all this kind of stuff, but this is where the world is going. And guys, and there's pros and cons on both of them. A lot of people coming up to me, I got an electric vehicle, and they, hey, man, them batteries catch on fire. I mean, man, common sense would tell you that, if I gotta sit on top of a battery, or I gotta sit on top of a internal combustion engine with fuel up under it, which one am I gonna pick? I mean, that's just common sense. I'm probably gonna pick that battery. But they come because they want to have an argument against change. These people come in, they don't want change, guys. And the way that we're going to grow is you're going to have to change. It's inevitable. If you get locked in and you don't want to embrace technology because you hate change, you're going to get left behind, guys. You're going to be, it is what it is. This is what the world, like I said, I can make an argument on both sides. We're out here, when you put gas and coal and stuff like that, that's finite. You go mine for batteries, that's finite. We're still digging and mining and taking resources away from the planet. Now, one thing I do like is renewable energy, the sun, solar, and geothermal. Those are really, really nice to have, having renewable energy source. But guys, the world is moving toward the procurement of renewable energy, procurement of land, so that they can expand the renewable energy grid, like solar panels, wind, and stuff like that. That's just where the world is moving, guys. And whether there's a we talk about the global warming and stuff like that, whether that has anything to do with the carbon emissions is irrelevant at this point. Now, one thing I don't agree with is that the government is getting involved in all this stuff and they're getting incentives. So it's actually what the government is doing is they're picking the winners. They're picking these say for instance, the legacy car builders, like your Ford and Mercedes and all those guys. The government is trying to make incentives for those guys, but take away the incentives for companies like Tesla and stuff like that. So the government is trying to jump in here and pick the winners. Well, there's an incentive probably for them to pick the winners because they got so much legislation and they're doing so much. These big companies are paying for it, these campaigns and all this kind of stuff. And these guys, and this is what's going on, guys. I mean, it's just a big game that's going on. But embrace technology, guys. I have to embrace technology, guys. I'm here on YouTube and I'm using my computer. And eventually, guys, right now I'm struggle streaming. And guys, you don't know what struggle streaming means. That means that I'm still using the camera on right now. I'm streaming right now from the camera on my Mac computer. I do have a GoPro. I haven't really, I'm doing my YouTube. I think once I get probably 1,000 subscribers, I'm gonna start investing in a little bit more, um, um, uh, tech to where I can use like better camera system, lighting, and stuff like that. I'm probably gonna put a little bit more money into that. As a matter of fact, one of my students, this right here microphone that I have, this JLab microphone, one of my students bought that for me. And it is a great microphone. It works really, really well. I'm using OBS to stream on. But guys, I have to embrace the technology. Like I said, we just got to embrace that, guys. It's coming. There's nothing, they got AI right now that they have a microcomputer AI that trains other computers artificial intelligence. And this is where we're at, guys. They got robots that they're making now. That these robots are going to actually be doing the mundane things. I mean, it won't be long before in the restaurants, your server will be a robot. I can see it coming. So embrace technology, guys. If you're gonna, if you are afraid of embracing technology, you have just declared, well, you're gonna wake up and be extinct if you don't embrace technology. So this is where we're at, guys. These are the things that we want to do in 2024. Yeah, we can kind of go down, guys, make sure you get a side hustle. I told you about that, guys. Do not box yourself in and embrace technology. Make sure we do that, guys. Hey, guys, you guys have a good one. And enjoy your 2024. I'll be coming on a little bit more on YouTube a little bit more. Guys, once again, like, share, subscribe. Hit the little bell button, too, so that every time I do a new video, it pops up. Thanks.